Hello everybody, Matt Williamson here. Another, just a quick update here with Pop Goes the 60s. And I want to update you on a little information I just heard regarding the Beatles' new song. And this song that they're calling the new song is obviously the one everybody's been predicting now and then, the unfinished song, the demo of John Lennon not done during the anthology project. And I just got some information today from, of all people, Penn Jillette from the comedy team Penn and Teller. Well, he's got his own podcast, and he was talking about having toured Abbey Road recently. And he had the pleasure of having Giles Martin kind of give him a little bit of a tour of the facilities, and they talked about the new song. So here's a couple of things that he confirmed. One of the things I was most concerned about was, will George Harrison play on it? Indeed, George did overlay some guitar on it when they first worked on the track, so that has been confirmed by Teller. Paul is on bass. There is strings and brass added. And they removed some of the complicated television stuff going on in the background. I guess that's been very problematic. And that's the thing that held them back from really finishing this thing in the first place. And probably it's not the strongest of songs. I think they didn't make a wrong choice in not doing it at the time. So one of the other things that he mentioned, to add to the song, they took an outtake from the song Because, and those 3-part harmony backing vocals, that has also been added to this, and they changed the key of that to fit Now and Then. So I thought that was interesting. Interesting in a slightly disturbing way. You know, I mean, how far do we take this kind of thing? This is probably going to be the last new release of the Beatles. I can't imagine doing anything else. More on that in a minute. The other thing that was confirmed, Ringo initially, who doesn't play drums on this track, nothing had been recorded drum-wise. They needed his drums, and he declined, if you can believe it. And Giles Martin had to kind of talk him into it, and he said, well, it's the last Beatles song that you'll ever ask to be played drums on, Ringo. How about it? And so Ringo agreed. He just is going to record it at his home. So I thought that was good news, and it sounds like it's a September release. And I'm not sure how the release is going to be released yet. It'll just be digital only. I highly doubt it. Maybe it'll have its own box set with an EP. Who knows? But the other thing that Penn Jillette was talking about was the re-release of these two guys. And apparently, it didn't occur to me, this is the 50th anniversary. And for some reason, I was thinking, CDs, I bought these, when did these come out? About 15 years ago? No, it was 30 years ago. 30 years ago. And I remember buying these, and I must confess, the reason I bought them mainly was because it was fun to buy a new Beatle product. I think that's why we buy a lot of things today. And I was disappointed when I got these because I was really looking to upgrade my vinyl copies of the Help single with the James Bond intro, not on these. Also the I Feel Fine duophonic, dirty, gritty version, not on these. So I was a little disappointed, and I don't even remember if I listened to these all the way through. So now here we have, 30 years later, another release of these that will be remixed using the same technology, apparently, that they're using on Now and Then, which is from this Peter Jackson software that they, I think, helped to create. And, you know, I don't know, this whole remix thing, they tell us that, well, we're doing the remixes because the new generations have to hear them more balanced. I kind of get that to a point, but I think they would be fine the way they were, you know? So we're going to have remixes. I'm getting confused with these remixes. So if you look at, say this, we'd have a remix of Eleanor Rigby from the Yellow Submarine song track. We'll have a remix from the Revolver box set. Apparently a new remix from the 50th anniversary release, which I guess would get a box treatment of sorts. And us Beatle fans, we're crazy, aren't we? We keep buying this stuff. And I think I probably would buy it to hear what these mixes sound like. But I mean, where do you stop? I mean, I think the Rubber Soul thing still may come out in December, right before Christmas. That makes sense to me. That's a hugely important album that deserves something special. And it'd be nice to have, my expectations aren't very high for what those special things are going to be. You know, we're going to get a similar box. We're going to get multiple CDs, maybe some outtakes. I don't know what kind of outtakes are going to be. As far as remixing, if they utilize this new technology, I mean, really how, boy, I'm a little bit on the fence about it. I'm not that in support of it. The one thing I do like to hear the separation of instrumentation. Some of the instrumentation on Beatles records are just buried in the mix. They don't come out at all. And if you went back to some of the original tapes, a lot of that could be brought out, but I mean, I think I'm probably in a minority that would like to hear that. And I wouldn't have them remix the whole catalog in order to do that. I thought some of the remixing on the Love release was interesting. That was a little bit different for a particular project. And, you know, I just don't really know. I'm not comfortable in continuing this remixing phase, constant remixes. And it seems to me that the Red and the Blue album wouldn't need to be remixed as the Red and the Blue album, but wouldn't we get the remixes from all the other remixed albums? Or are we now to believe that, say, the Sgt. Pepper and the White Album remixes from 2017 and 18 are somewhat obsolete, that they could have done a better remix with this new software? And do we expect that now? I don't think they're going to do that. But this is where it's getting kind of, where do you stop? You know, The Simpsons, what are they in the 35th season? What's the point? Enough is enough. We get it, you know? So I don't know. I just wanted to let you guys know that I had found that out. I think it's rather interesting. I think the Rubber Soul box set, to me, is more important than these other two things. I guess if you're going to have 2 major releases per year, yeah, I guess you can do that. What's the next thing after the albums get re-released? Well, I suppose the Star Club. There's all kinds of things that can be re-released and remixed. And most Beatle fans will buy it all. And I think people are banking on that. The people that are selling it would bank on that. But I'm not sure that it needs to all be remixed. I mean, if you remix Please Please Me, I mean, what are you going to really get out of that? I mean, what's the point of that? There isn't much of a point. I think it was maybe recorded on a 2-track. I suppose you can separate the instrumentation to make it sound more surround. But do we really need that? I mean, I don't need that. I mean, Love Me Do or I Saw Her Standing There, perfect. Perfect. You don't need to remix those. So anyway, that's my little thing for now. Let me know what you think in the comments, and we will be back soon with more from Pop Goes the 60s.
Help! Take 1.